You're listening to the best local sports show. Boots, Bats and Balls on Six Towns Radio.
Chills Bar, Bearsley, sponsors of Port Vale content on Six Towns Radio.
Tom Pope, we're 2 games into the season now. A lose at Colchester, a draw with Bradford.
It's been a tough start for us. It's not about losing games of football, it's the way you lose them sometimes. And Saturday, I'm sure the fans that travelled all the way to Colchester wouldn't have gone home very happy.
Yeah.
It's all right putting in a shift and working hard for each other and trying your best to get a performance. Sometimes you lose games of football and you hold your hands up and say they were better than us on the day, and we did everything we could to put it right. On Saturday that wasn't the case. We didn't work hard enough, we didn't win enough battles, and they outplayed us, and that's something that's not acceptable from us, and hopefully we can put it right on Saturday.
Do you think that's the sort of gap in the leagues, League 1 to 2, that they're experiencing this league?
Not really. I think sides that have gone on and had double promotions over the years, it's not about struggling at the level and playing against better players, it's about winning your battles and doing your jobs. And if you're not doing your job right, then you're going to get punished for it. And on Saturday there was probably 9 or 10 of us that didn't do their jobs, barring Chris and Neil. Nobody could have any complaints if they're going to be sitting on the bench or in the stand on Saturday, so that's something that we have to live by. Yeah,
it's the beginning of the season, and you've got to look at every game thinking we could win this game. You've got to as a player anyway. You're not thinking, these teams are bigger than you, are you?
No. Bradford first game of the season, come away with a 1-1 draw, and they've gone on and battered Sheffield United last weekend, so there's some good sides in the league, but that gives you confidence knowing you've got a point against a side that are promotion favourites. So, we know if we perform how we can beat anybody in the league. Mm-hmm. We know if we perform like we did on Saturday, any team in the league will beat us. So, it's about that consistency of playing well and keeping the ball and making sure you do your jobs.
We've spoken hundreds of times, and you've been scoring at the time, you might have not been scoring at the time, and obviously this question is going to be raised about, you're a couple of games in you haven't scored, but I know it will come. Yeah,
but you always know it's going to come. It's just about creating. I haven't really had a chance yet, so bar the one header against Walsall, there's not much I've had in front of goal, so you can say he isn't scoring goals, but at the same time I'm not having anything to have a chance on. So
there's nothing at Colchester, was it?
But that's down to us as well. As 11 players, we need balls into the box. We need midfielders creating, forwards getting hold of the ball, and defenders, playing some quality balls into the front men and into the midfield. And Saturday that was something that we didn't do all game, and we deserve to lose. Hopefully on Saturday we can get a bit more quality into the front. We can get hold of it and get it out wide, and we can stick some decent delivery into the box.
Yeah, there's players who haven't featured yet this season. There might be a couple of changes, but there is strength that's been on the bench, or players who haven't even made the starting lineup, haven't they?
Well, of course there is. That's the thing with the squad now. That the chairman's come in, brought some quality additions to the squad, and I'm sure there's plenty of lads sitting on the bench or in the stand eager to be a part of the starting 11, and after Saturday's performance I'm sure the gaffer's going make a few changes and see if that changes the outcome of the result.
Yeah, because there's players like Williamson, Dodds, Birchall, who were big parts of the promotion team, and they've not had their chances yet, so there could be changes.
Well, of course, after a performance like that, then you'd probably think that there would be. We haven't worked on anything, so I don't know. He could make 10 changes.
Yeah.
But that's part and parcel of football. That's something that as a footballer you have to live by. If you have a bad game, you run the risk of not playing the week after. And none of us played well last weekend, so we'll have to wait and see.
Bradford, you played them 3 times last season, and differing results in every game. We won one, lost one in the cup, and drew. And a not great game here at the end of last season. So the team you sort of know, they brought in a few players like Vale have. Does that mean anything to you, that you already know how they play?
Well, it certainly helps, but I think, with the scouting networks and everything that you've got going on now, you pretty much know how every team's going to play, but that's something that you have to combat yourself. If the gaffer tells you a certain job to do on a certain player and you don't do it, then you're going to get punished for it. We know Bradford are direct, they get the balls into Anton up top, and they get players running in and around off him that are lively, so it's something that we're going to have to keep switched on about, and hopefully we can do that.
I asked Dicko this question a minute ago about the Walsall game, and the Walsall have now got Stoke in the cup. When you heard that, were you a bit gutted?
Yeah, obviously, when you're Vale and you're a Vale fan, it's gutting knowing that you're out of a cup and the chance to play Stoke. Of course, I'd love one day playing it in a Potteries derby. That's something as a player. I just love watching them. When I was a supporter sitting on the terraces listening to the atmosphere, the atmosphere was unbelievable. So it'd have been nice, but hopefully it's something. Hopefully the FA Cup can be won again this year. It's never easy getting to the third round to start with, so it's something we'll have to look at. And if we can get not just Stoke but any decent tie, it'd be something that'd be greatly. We'd be happy with further down the line. It's always great going to these great stadiums and playing in front of thousands of people and great atmospheres. And whether we get Stoke or any other Premiership side, I'm sure the lads would be happy if we could do it.
Yeah, nice going to cup run. Thank you very much, Tom.
No problem.